Hey guys, Nuka here. Today I have another one of those very unique products that no prepper should go without having in their supplies. The product today will be over hydrogen peroxide. This is a definite must prep for all preppers. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll take the hydrogen peroxide bottle and we'll give it a nice look over. So as you can see, nothing fancy here, just hydrogen peroxide. This is a topical solution. So basically, topical is meaning it can be applied to the surface of your skin, or in this instance, it can also be used as an oil or oral debriding agent. So you can also swish it around your mouth. Nowhere on here does it tell you to swallow hydrogen peroxide. So take it from me, folks. Do not swallow hydrogen peroxide. It is not for internal use, it's for external use. Now you can also see on the label it says it's used for treatment of minor cuts, abrasions, or as a gargle and a rinse, also known as an oral debriding agent. We'll talk about that here in a second. So look at here, again, if you look at the active ingredients, this is a 3% solution, basically meaning it is 97% water and 3% hydrogen peroxide. This is basically a safe alternative for us to utilize this solution. If you also look there, you see the uses there. First aid to help prevent the risk of infection, minor cuts, scrapes, burns, so forth and so on. As well, if you look around towards the bottom, you'll see an oral debriding unit. I'm just going to hold this up. You can see this here. So oral debriding agent can also be used with swishing around your mouth. It says here you can do about 4 times a day. I'll give you my advice on how often I use it. But just understand that you can, once again, swish this around your mouth. You can put it on the surface of your skin, but nowhere on here does it say for you to swallow hydrogen peroxide. Now another thing you'll notice if you're looking at the bottle, and actually any bottle that you purchase from any, I guess I could say, reputable store, hydrogen peroxide is stored usually in a type of a brown coated bottle. And nowhere in the store should you ever see hydrogen peroxide sold in a clear bottle. That's because the light will usually degrade hydrogen peroxide fairly quickly. That's why all the bottles you see for it are usually coated in a nice thick coating with no penetration for light to go through. As well, your hydrogen peroxide is also going to come sealed. And I got these from Walmart at about 80 cents, I believe, for 32 ounces. Your hydrogen peroxide bottle is also going to come sealed on the top. That's because once you open this bottle, your shelf life has now diminished from about a year down to 60 days. So the shelf life for hydrogen peroxide is usually about a year or longer, depending on how well you store it. And once you do open it, it is now good for 60 days. Now, there's been some back and forth with hydrogen peroxide. Is it a great first aid antiseptic? Is it not a great antiseptic? Some believe back in the past, hey, it worked really well. Well, apparently with more research, they kind of determined, hey, maybe it doesn't work as well as we thought. But I'll tell you this, when stuff hits the fan and you need some type of antiseptic that's going to help disinfect a wound or cut you have, me personally, I'm going for the hydrogen peroxide. Reason being, I've used it before, and I thought it worked pretty fine for small cuts or maybe some bruises and stuff. As well, looking on the bottle itself, today, at least according to FDA standards, it still says that this is a first aid antiseptic. So to me, that is good enough, way better than using dirty water to help clean a wound when I'm in an SHTF scenario. Now I'm going to outline of what I feel are some of the great uses of hydrogen peroxide, especially in a stuff at the fan situation. Number 1, hydrogen peroxide can be used as mouthwash. Not only is hydrogen peroxide good for mouthwash, but it will also whiten your teeth. The recommended use that I use it for anyways right now is about once or twice a week with a 50-50 solution. And when I say 50-50, I'm talking 50% to 3% hydrogen peroxide, hopefully you're still with me, and then 50% natural water. So when these are mixed in 50-50 quantities, you can swish it around your mouth and you can let it sit there for about 1 minute and then spit it out. Not only will this help kill the germs in your mouth, but it'll also help give your mouth a nice, clean feeling. You'll notice that when you start rubbing your tongue up against your teeth, how smooth your teeth will feel. I will tell you a couple side effects. Number one, this will make your teeth whiter, usually. And while you're thinking, hey, Nuka, that can't be a side effect, I want you to think about kind of long, enduring stuff at the fan situation. Let's say somewhere about 4 or 5 months. You're going to have great dental hygiene. Your teeth are going to probably be looking pretty good and white. Well, if you ever have to barter with someone else who doesn't really have such a great smile, they're going to notice that you have it. And that's going to attract possibly some unwanted attention that you don't want. I recommend you use something to cover your mouth, kind of like a bandana or a scarf or something, so that when you talk, people don't notice how nice and clean your teeth are. The second thing I want to talk about is doing this method can kind of make your mouth feel a little dry at first, but it will bounce back and regain its rejuvenation. Number 2, as the bottle states, hydrogen peroxide is also a good oral debriding agent. Now, while I could have grouped this with mouthwash, I decided to do this one separately. That's because debridement in dental terms basically means the removal of plaque or tartar from your teeth. So using hydrogen peroxide on a somewhat periodic basis, but not too much, will help actually remove and prevent tartar or plaque from your teeth. The basic way to use this will be with a 50-50 solution. Again, 50%, 3% hydrogen peroxide, and 50% water. Whatever the equal parts you want to make it, you can, but it needs to be a 50-50 solution. Taking this, swishing around your mouth, will help in the debridement of plaque and tartar from your teeth. Hydrogen peroxide is also good with helping the healing process for mouth sores, especially canker sores. Number 3, cleaning your ears. This is by far my favorite use with hydrogen peroxide. I do this once a month. In a nice clean bowl, you'll have a 50%, 3% hydrogen peroxide solution and a 50% water mixed into a bowl. You're then going to use a syringe to suck that solution up. Then with your head pointed at an angle, you're going to take the tip of that syringe, not into your ear canal, but close to the inside of your ear canal, and you're going to push down the plunge nice and gently, not to blow anything out, to help actually eat up the wax, degrade it, break it down, and push out your ear canal. Now, whatever you do when you're trying to clear out your ears, I'm sure you already know this, but just in case, do not, and I'll say again, do not stick Q-tips in your ear canal. That is crappy. That will cause us earaches and problems. We don't want that, no matter how desperate we are. Goodbye, Q-tip. And that brings us to the number 4th use. Fungus loves dark, damp, and moist areas. And when your feet are bundled up in your sock and shoe for long periods of time, fungus will form in there, or can form in there, and that's what they call athlete's foot. Now, while you're a person that probably thinks, I've never got athlete's feet, I'll never get it either, I want you to remember what kind of situation you're going to be in. If stuff hits the fan, your hygiene will be diminished during that period of time. The way hydrogen peroxide can help you, if you have a 5-gallon bucket or something somewhat clean or usable around, you can store a 1-to-6 ratio, meaning 1 part hydrogen peroxide and 6 parts, so imagine 6 bottles here, 6 parts water. This solution here, you can soak your feet in for about 20 minutes and then let it air dry out, and that should hopefully help do the trick. If that doesn't work for you, you also have other methods. You can also make a 50-50% solution with hydrogen peroxide and water inside of a spray bottle. And you can apply that directly on your feet and then make sure it dries completely and wipe it off as well. Number 5, toothbrush sanitizer. If you like to sanitize your toothbrush, simply take the 3% hydrogen peroxide solution, put it into a container, and then take your toothbrush, hopefully a clean as possible toothbrush, and stick it inside of that solution. If you let it sit there for at least 5 minutes and then rinse it off and let it dry, it should hopefully add more life to your toothbrush, and it'll help get rid of those germs that are on your toothbrush. Number 6, all-purpose cleaner. As you probably guessed it, hydrogen peroxide can also be a great cleaner for other products. You can use it to fill clean dishes, tables, surfaces, windowsills that are starting to grow mold. I mean, you name it, and you can probably clean it with hydrogen peroxide. First, of course, you want to try to get the area as clean as possible. Try to remove all the heavy stuff you can. And then apply direct 3% hydrogen peroxide to whatever surface it is, or dish, or whatever it is you're trying to clean. And the seventh use, last but not least, insect bites. Mixed together with baking soda, hydrogen peroxide can make a great paste to help soothe and calm down bug bites. What you want to do is, once again, you want a 50% hydrogen peroxide mixed with the 50% water, and then however thick you want the paste to be, don't forget about this little buddy here. You want to fill the rest with baking soda. By the way, if you haven't seen my baking soda video, make sure you go to my channel and watch it. I outline some more tips about baking soda. And again, just like hydrogen peroxide, there is no reason at all why baking soda should not be in your preps. A couple things I'll just make sure to remind you of. Make sure you're careful not to take too large of a dose of hydrogen peroxide. Do your own research before you mess with it. And of course, follow the directions on the bottle. So please leave some comments below. Maybe some of the uses that you use hydrogen peroxide for. Again, when you help out one prepper, you're helping out all preppers. Hopefully this video is informational to you. As always, guys, please rate, comment, subscribe to my channel. And of course, as always, I will see you soon. Later.